All right, let's talk Green Bay Packers. This is a team a few weeks ago. People were wondering how good is the pack? The answer is extremely good. And this Packers coaching staff and the team and the players have done a great job. But I think as all the big names are emerging, certainly on defense, the most important part of the Green Bay Packers is really shining right now. And I think this right here is why the Packers are legitimate Super Bowl championship contenders this year. We'll get into all the reporting, some interesting data as always in just a second. But first, I am Nick. That is Andrew, and this is Saturday Morning Inspection. All right, the Green Bay Packers, just because of the Micah Parsons drama and the trade, get a lot of attention, right? Obviously, Aaron Rodgers, the rematch, in terms of Rodgers playing the Packers for the first time, got a lot of buzz, right? There's been a lot of drama games for the Packers this season. And, it makes sense, right? You're a marquee franchise. You got a lot of interesting matchups. It's going to happen. And there was that, 3 week 4 area where things looked a little shaky, but things have certainly stabilized since then. And a reason for the stabilization, I think the most important reason, and I think that the reason why the Packers are going to be a Super Bowl contending team this year, and for my opinion, many years to come, has nothing to do with Micah Parsons and the defense, even though he's great and the defense is great. It has everything to do with the Packers coaching staff unleashing the emerging top quarterback in the National Football League, and that is Jordan Love. Let's get into some data here, guys. And I think for a lot of you Pack fans, you've been watching this in the games, but the numbers just blow off the page. This first post is courtesy of Robbie, the Robbie account on X. He writes, Jordan Love, he's first in total EPA, that's expected points added per game. He's first in EPA per dropback. He's first in win probability added per dropback. He's the number one seed in the NFC. And right now he's fifth in the MVP odds. But I'm not too worried about the MVP odds. That'll work itself out. And listen, we're talking championships right here for the Green Bay Packers. That was the goal, not necessarily MVPs. And you can look at those numbers there. Jordan Love, first in EPA per game, EPA per dropback, win probability added per dropback. Robbie there misspelled that. I think when you look at where the Packers are with Jordan Love and the coaching staff and LaFleur and Jordan Love himself, I think they've emerged and unleashed this quarterback. And listen, they've had injuries on the offensive line. They've had issues at running back with some injuries. They've had injuries at wide receiver, of course. It's the Packers. Of course, they have injuries at wide receivers. It wouldn't be the Green Bay Packers if there weren't wide receivers with some kind of soft tissue injuries and some other injuries, holding this offense back. And despite all of that, Jordan Love is playing at an elite level. Let's go into our next graphic here just to highlight this even further. So this is courtesy of Brett Coleman, who is a great follow on X, a YouTuber as well. Make sure you check him out. Highly recommend. He talked to us about scoring drive efficiency since week 4. The Packers are number 1 in football, 54.8%. The Colts are number 2, 54. The Chiefs are number 3, and 4 are the Bears at 52.4. But I want to focus on the top 3 because the Colts right now with their running game and Daniel Jones having the season of his life have been the most efficient offense in football, at least so we're told. And the Chiefs, since week 4, have been, if not the Colts, they've been the most efficient offense in football, or so we're told. But the numbers tell a different story. The numbers tell us actually Green Bay Packers. They're the most efficient offense in football. They're better than the Colts. They're better than the Chiefs. Now, listen, they're not getting the media attention on offense because Micah Parsons sucks it in, right? He's just a gravity well of buzz. It's what you get when you bring in a guy like Parsons, right? Of course, there was the drama of playing Dallas with Parsons, the drama of playing Rodgers, right? So I understand there's some off-the-field storylines as well, in terms of these games. But if you look at Jordan Love and what he's done, again, injuries on the O-line, injuries at receiver, it's not like they've been beautifully healthy. Every team has injuries. That's undeniable. But there are a couple teams that are sort of magically healthy. The Bears have been kind of like that. Honestly, the Indianapolis Colts have been like that to a certain extent. That's a big reason why both those teams are playing good football. The Packers, not so lucky. But what they do have is Jordan Love and a coaching staff that's finally unleashing him as Jordan Love matures, and the numbers speak for themselves. But let's talk about Jordan Love's development and what he's become. Let's go into our next graphic here. We got only 2 more graphics. I promise, guys, that's it before we get out of the images here. But I just think these data points are so outstanding. This is the growth of Jordan Love. You can see the bar charts there. This is the EPA per dropback. In 2023, it's the top bar chart. The middle is 2024. At the bottom is 2025. You can see in 2023 and in 2024, about the same. 0.12 in 2023, 0.10 in 2024, right? Basically margin of error. 2025, 2.5 times 2023, almost triple 2024. And by the way, those 2023 and 2024 numbers, those weren't bad numbers at all. Those were solid, perfectly respectable numbers. What he's doing in 2025 on a per dropback basis is incredible. It's insane. and it makes this Packers team ridiculously good. Quarterback play is the most important thing. It's the most reliable predictor of championship success, right? Listen, we talk about what happened last year with the Eagles and their defense and running game. That's an anomaly. There's a reason that dynasties in the NFL had to do with the Patriots and Tom Brady. It had to do with the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes, with some interruptions for guys like Aaron Rodgers, Ben Roethlisberger, and Matthew Stafford, right? That's normally how it goes. Quarterback play, high level quarterback play wins you championships. We're seeing Jordan Love get to that level. And let's get into our final graphic here. Again, this is courtesy of True Media, great analytics platform. Cannot recommend them enough. Great company to work with. And you can see my favorite statistic for quarterbacks is yards per passing attempt, right? Total yards, you can kind of, you throw the football more, you can saturate that. And yards per completion, right? It's one of those things where, if you throw the ball a lot down the field, if you go 1 for 3 for 15 yards, you can sit there and say, hey, 15 yards per completion, but you're pretty inaccurate. Yards per attempt is both things. It's completion percentage, right? Which is how accurate are you, theoretically, and the number of yards you get. How challenging are your throws? How much big plays do you generate? And yards per attempt going up to 8.4, started 7.2 in 2023, 8.0 in 2024, and then 8.4 in 2025. Those are really good numbers. Those are MVP numbers. Now, look, he's not getting the attention. He's not getting the buzz. And I don't think he will, just because, like I said before, Micah Parsons sucks all the air out of the room right now when it comes to the Packers, and deservedly so. He's a great player, having a really good season for Green Bay, great addition for the Packers defense. But the reality is Jordan Love and the Packers coaches have done an incredible job unleashing his skill set, unleashing this offense to levels we haven't seen since peak Aaron Rodgers, right? And those Aaron Rodgers teams were championship contenders, except for a few postseason heartbreaks. They should have won more Super Bowls. They should have gone to more Super Bowls. This Packers team, they're more well-rounded. They can run the football, obviously. They've got a great defense, obviously. Special teams, makes me a little nervous. But Jordan Love and what it's become makes, in my opinion, this Packers team the top contender in football. I think the Detroit Lions are great. I think they're outstanding. I think what Dan Campbell has done in Detroit, I know Packers fans may not like this. I think he's done an incredible job. He's done an outstanding job. But when I look at the quarterback play, what really, really matters, push comes to shove, Jordan Love right now, he's better than anybody. And I don't know how anybody can beat that in the NFC when it comes time for the postseason. All right, Miles, I'm curious what your thoughts are on all of this. But first, let's hear from the sponsors of today's video. All right, let's take a break from today's video to talk about something that's very important to me, and I know it's important to a lot of you guys, and that's finding tasty food that fits all your nutrient needs to get into your active lifestyle. Listen, I try to be an active guy, but I got a little girl. My wife and I are running around with our hairs on fire trying to keep up this crazy kid. I mean, just things are bonkers for us, right? As it is, I know for a lot of you guys, listen, it's the world we live in. We got family stuff, we got, work stuff, of course, and we're going to watch the games, but how do we have time to eat good food that is tasty, that fits the nutrient requirements? Well, guys, that's why we're excited to talk about chomps today. Listen, I know it's a meat stick, and here's a chomp right here. It's a meat stick. What is this, another meat stick? Guys, this is different. This is meat sticks to a whole nother level. We're talking 100 calories, 0 grams of sugar, 10 grams of protein. So it hits all the boxes for me, checks all the boxes for the nutrients. And here's the thing, guys, it actually tastes really, really good, right? I personally love their barbecue flavors, but all of the flavors are delicious. My wife likes them too. I mean, it's one of these snacks that has just sort of catapulted up to the forefront of our snack selection. I didn't even see it coming, but they're a great product and a great company. Again, highly recommend you check out Chomps. There's a link in the description box below. Make sure you check out Chomps today. All right, Miles, over to you. Give me your thoughts on everything Green Bay and Jordan Love.
Yeah, Nick, I think when you talk about the heart and soul of this team, it is easily Jordan Love. He's got to be the guy here. He's the guy that's really just doing a lot of great things for the Packers. And I think we've seen his development year over year, but it's really evident this season. Just he is, the soul of this team. He is what makes it tick. And he is playing some really, really good football, especially as we saw versus Steelers last week. Everyone wants to hype up the game. Aaron Rodgers returns, the big, show match there. But Jordan Love played some really high quality football in that game. He looked really great, and he's played a lot of really good games this season. I think you look at his touchdown to interception ratio this year, he's played really clean football, 13-2. It's pretty ridiculous. He's had great NFL passer ratings all year against the Packers, or excuse me, the Steelers. He had 134.2 NFL passer rating, almost perfect. I mean, it doesn't really get too much better than that. 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. So I think we're seeing a different Jordan Love. I think we're seeing a guy that is going out there and doing a lot of great stuff. And this is a guy who's doing it with guys that they've all drafted. They didn't go out and spend, tons of draft capital, millions of dollars to get him, top flight receivers. These are all in-house guys. When you got Dobbs, you got Golden, you got Watson, you got Tucker Kraft at tight end. These are all guys that the Packers have drafted. Jordan Love being one of those guys as well. Jacobs, the running back, different situation there, but I'm talking about who he is throwing the ball to majority of the time. And you got to love that as a Packers fan. This is homegrown talent. This is what you can develop and make. And I think Jordan Love really doing a great job with what they got. I think there's a lot of options out here. This team can really go, anywhere. I think this is a team that definitely has high playoff hopes. And I think this is a team that is one of the biggest threats in the NFC as far as being a Super Bowl contender. But just looking around the ball, the Packers have made a lot of great additions this year. But I think by far, you see the Micah Parsons. You look at his PFF grades, ridiculous. 92.5, number one edge rusher in all of football right now when you look at his grades. But it is undeniable. Jordan Love is the most important person on this Packers team. You've seen his growth. You've seen what he's been able to do. This was the best decision. The Packers' decision to go ahead and draft him when they did, when they had Aaron Rodgers, having that succession plan. They've always been known to do that, showing it's paying off big time right here. Jordan Love is definitely doing some great stuff this year for the Packers.
And I want to end on a final point here. You talked about taking care of the football, the touchdown to interception ratio, and I pulled up this post, this tweet, whatever you want to call it, courtesy of Wendell Ferreira, and he noted turnover-worthy play rate in 2025. I'll give you some names. Patrick Mahomes, 2.8. Jared Goff, 3.0. Lamar Jackson, 4.7. Baker Mayfield, 4.0, right? These are some big names, some MVP candidates. How about Aaron Rodgers himself, 2.9, known obviously for taking care of the football. Jordan Love, better than all of them, 2.7. So again, it's not just the big plays. It's not just the efficiency. It's not just the passer rating. It's not just the yards. It's not just the offense scoring a lot. He's taking care of the football. Jordan Love, Matt LaFleur, working together, this Packers coaching staff has done an outstanding job. People aren't paying attention to it, but if you look at this quarterback play right now, this is the reason why the Packers, I think, are one of, if not the top favorite in the NFC, and frankly, the entire NFL to win a championship this year.